Okay. Thank you. I was gonna do it on my phone, and I was like, this is gonna take way too much.
Best way to record the minutes, right?
Since they don't seem to want to do it anymore.
Really?
Last posted minutes from 2018.
Hello.
Would you smile?
Nah, you don't have to smile.
Do you hear that, Mike?
Don't forget y'all. Is that your lemon pie that's on that table over there?
Yes, it is.
Hot dog, I'm gonna get some of that.
And my cobbler.
Oh, you got a cobbler too. Cool.
Jalapeno plants at home are starting to go crazy, so we're bringing some more jalapenos.
Mine aren't, the plant's growing, but the jalapenos aren't coming out.
Your recipe.
She made my lemon pie.
Oh, yeah, right.
Okay, we'll go ahead and get cleaning started.
I got a couple off of it. It's not as hot as those other ones. So I can actually eat them. This is it?
Things I'll bring up first. As most of you know, the last 2 years due to the COVID, we didn't have a quorum to do anything. So the meetings were basically dismissed. Okay? We have to have a minimum of a 10 quorum in order to hold a meeting. One time we had 4, the year before last, I think we had 5 or 6 last year. We have to have a quorum of 10 people. And that's why nothing has basically been done for 2 years. We're starting from scratch all over the place.
So where are the minutes that?
And I see we've got some new people here, and the question's been asked, why do we have a POA? I'm going to give you a couple examples. POAs are kind of for protection. In the last month, I've had calls from developers. One of them wanted to know if we could grant him a waiver, put 5 or 6 long-term rental campers on one lot. Of course, I told him no. Now, if we wouldn't have had a POA, he could have done that. There wasn't a thing we could have done about it. About 2 weeks later, I get a call from another developer wanting to know if he could put 4 trailers on a lot. In other words, he wanted to make a trailer park, is what he wanted.
Yeah.
Now,
Next door.
one lot, yeah. So what happens is, without a POA, once they see the deed restrictions, even though a lot of them aren't enforced, that will still shy them away. And it gives us the power to tell them no. Polk County has no zoning whatsoever. There's no zoning. You guys can put a pig farm next to you, a trailer park. As long as they meet the septic requirements, there's nothing you can do. Okay? That's why it's hard to find property in Polk County unless you're, out the stick somewhere where there's not a POA. So that's one of the reasons why we have a POA. It's more for protection. It also gives us as a whole a little bit of say what comes into the community, okay, in our community, where otherwise it would be wide open. As you notice, there's a lot of nice houses going in here, okay? Get something like a trailer park or something like that, the price value of that house is going to drop, okay? It's just nature of the beast. It's been that way forever, okay? This is why we have a POA. Everybody says, well, our deed restrictions are there, but it's up to us to enforce them. Our POA is a lot different than a lot of other ones. Nobody hounds anybody for minor little stuff. Nobody's going to drive around and see what kind of siding you got on your trailer. You know, Kenny and Park over there, they're involved in all kinds of lawsuits now, which the guy would lose, okay? Because of silly stuff. They put fees for cutting down land and stuff like that. We don't do that here. Everything tends to work pretty good, you know? And, I didn't want to be in a POA where I've got a lot of rules and regulations. But we can enforce them. Somebody's saying, let's do away with the POA. First of all, that's hard to do. You've got to have 85% of the property owners' votes to do that. A big portion of our properties are owned by people in Canada, Montana, Wyoming, all over the place. They would never come to a meeting. The only way they can vote proxy is if they get a certified letter and send it to the board and everything's verified. So it's really hard to do with away because that was set down by the developer. Okay?
Clark Thompson.
What's that?
Clark Thompson.
Yeah, it was put down by the developer. And it was done for that reason. Okay? We'll have a little more discussion on that after a little bit. I'm just giving you a lot of your little background.